All right. Well, it was at Skeeter's funeral, which was on Thursday the 7th. These are my friends. I had two friends that were born on November 17th. And at one of them's funeral, the other one born on November 17th was, if I remember, sitting to my right, and the one born on 9/11 was sitting at my left. And that's how I always remembered it. I told you I got a memory like a steel trap, right? And here it is. He was born November 17th. Here's my problem. Well, and the guy that I was sitting next to, born on September 11th, 1963. So here's my problem. And it's a big one. Robert Reed, it says, was born on November 16th in Columbus, Ohio, by the way. The dotting of the I. Now, this would be the Holy Spirit's synchronicity. The ghost in the machine doesn't do stuff like this. And I attended both their funerals. Was this a typo saying it was November 16th, or did I just remember it wrong? Well, we're going to go with I just remembered it wrong. I'll be. Y'all, he was class of 79. They got that wrong too. Or they got that wrong. I shouldn't say two. I could have swore Robert was born November 17th. He and Skeeter had the same birthday. Columbus, Ohio was the birthplace of my first wife. Scott Obama's birthday. He graduated from Auburndale No, he graduated my class. He was in our class, 79. So how much of this did they get wrong? This is Kersey's funeral home. He had a lot of issues. That was later on in life. We'll tell you, dude looked like a movie star. If I showed you his high school picture, if you were a female, you'd be like, oh my God, he sure was handsome. Yeah. He had no trouble with the ladies whatsoever. Baseball player, you know. They're kind of born with the knack with the ladies anyway, aren't they? He died at 47, way too young. Skeeter died at 37, or Thomas Arthur died at 37 years old. And so when we're at his funeral, which was on January 7th, so I need to chronicle. I need to put all these in my personal. I was sitting in between 11/17 and 9/11, one on each side. All three, the other two also died very young. So as I'm at my 37-year-old friend's funeral, I'm sitting next to two other gentlemen that are going to die very early. Very early. Robert died at 47. And Ronnie died let me get Ronnie's obituary. Hang on. Yeah. Baseball, again with the baseball. All three were tremendous baseball players. Died of cancer on February 11th, 2004. He was 40. So they died at 37, 40, and 47 years old. That's how old they were when they died. So Ronnie was going to die 5 years later, 5 years and a month later, Ronnie was going to die. Skeeter died of cancer. Ronnie died of cancer. Allegedly, they might have done some things that make your muscles grow. Back then, a lot of people died early. Football players, Lyle Alzado and all that kind of stuff. It's gotten a little bit more controlled. People that do them, it doesn't kill them years later, but it does something to your cells that causes cancer. And allegedly, all three had done it. Allegedly. So I need to chronicle their deaths. But the day that they sat next to me, that was January 7th. Now remember, they were baseball players. And don't you know that the day those three, one baseball player's in the casket and the other two on each side of me, that day of the funeral where they sat on each side comes to July 9th. Movie 61 movie poster. And we've done this 5 times. Golly, I tell you what, that old Ghost in the Machine is messing with us big time, isn't it? Now you see the movie 61 because we all would be turning 61. I'll be turning 61 July 6th. 3 days later, we hit 7/9. I'll be 61, that number at the top. And on 7/9 is what that day comes to. Now, it was released April 28th. So, I mean, we can pop that in there. But, the first 9/11 or the first event was based off of Bible verse. And the Bible verse this would be based off of would be either November 7th or July 11th, rising out of the pit. Well, 2 days before the rising would be 11/5 or July 9th. And they again, Robert, Ronnie, Skeeter were all big time baseball players at Auburndale Senior High School. The blue and gold. So is that the cipher when they sat next to me? Now it said his birthday was November 16th, but it also had him graduating in 78. Could they have made 2 mistakes? Or am I just mistaken? But that is big time stuff, man. This was stepdaughter's favorite movie, she said. And she's got the 138, the 88, and the 86. It was released on April 28th, 2001. Just to show you that we're in the ballpark. Get it? We're in the ballpark. We're in the wheelhouse. That's what I'm telling you about this pizza thing, man. There's all different kind of big ciphers to go to. So y'all's guess is as good as mine relating to my ciphers or your own ciphers. Let's go April 28th, 2001. Hang on. The release of the movie hits on June 30th, which was the Day of the Dead release date. Movie, Day of the Dead. I'll be out of town. I'll be at the beach, good Lord willing. So I don't know, man. All right, I'm going to load everything on here. The movie 61, this release date, I'll put in the regular. The rest I'll have in my personal tabs. Hang on. Now, the Heidi Bowl was 11/17. Jay Skeeter turned 7, and Robert Reed turned 7, or Robert Reed was one day shy of turning 7, depending on typos or typos in my brain. But remember the movie Groundhog Day. In the movie Groundhog Day, it had on the marquee Heidi 2. In other words, 11/17 part 2. And Groundhog Day release date, which featured Heidi 2, is also June 30th. And that Day of the Dead, we went over it the other day. We found it. Where is it? Day of the Dead hits on July 28th, but it says release date was on 6/30. And for some reason, I underlined that as if it meant something. Usually I don't do that. All the other release dates, I don't put in red. I guess because it was coming up, because we were in the early in the month of June when I loaded this thing. Day of the Dead movie, Wikipedia. June 30th, 1985. That's your Back to the Future year. June 30th, 1985 in Hicksville. United States, it was a nationwide release at July 19th. I have to put both those dates in there. So I've got a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I just ate and I feel like just laying down a little bit, stretching out my stomach. I got a lot of stuff to load in Excel. This movie date, again, because it's already in there once. But 1985, the Back to the Future year. And my Mayday friend, born 1985. Anyway, very interesting stuff. My friend that died, that was born 11/17, and I sat next to a 9/11. Whether or not the other guy was 11/17 or 11/16 really is minutia at this point. I had a 9/11 and 11/17 combination. And that day hits on 7/9, which is the numbers on the movie poster of the movie 61. That my stepdaughter, who's got the 138, the 88, and the 86ing of them both. 113886 is her number. She says that movie 61 is her favorite movie because she's a gigantic Yankees fan. She's not a movie buff, so she doesn't stack movies like I do. Like for a movie to be my favorite movie, it has to be like, enormous. And for her, she's your basic 24-year-old beautiful female. Movies, they don't have movies like other people have movies like, oh, it's my favorite movie. She just said, that's my favorite movie. So we have to register that, right? We have to register it. So, I mean, July 9th has been big because he would rise on 7/11, which in all countries other than the United States, that's called 11/7, the Bible verse, rising from the pit. All right. Love you. What? Do I have any comments? I don't even think I'm in the right screen for it. Christian did say something an hour ago. Something I just noticed, the new moon on the 28th at 10:53, 153 fish on the new moon with the parade of planets. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Christian. Love our commenters. All right. Love y'all.